Hello, Lithuania. October 2nd is the 30th anniversary of the reopening of our embassy in Lithuania. We've gone from nothing but strength to strength in this relationship over the past 30 years. We've also pulled together some of our former staff and current staff who were here in those early days. I hope you enjoy hearing their memories.
We've built everything from scratch. We built a U.S. embassy from scratch, and of course we've participated in building Lithuanian state from scratch and state institutions.
My expectations, well, of course I was very excited because back, remembering Soviet times, we all dreamed about United States as a country of freedom, as a country of prosper, and so I was very happy, being able to join the embassy, thinking about United States and thinking about working for the country, which when I was a kid, we all dreamt about at least visiting.
Pirmi mėnesiai tai čia buvo didelis bordelis, nes nebuvo vietos, kuri nebūtų remontuojama, griaunama. Ambasadorius sėdėjo, jam už nugaros šitą tinką kalė nuo sienos. Tai čia toks prisimenu, visiškas toks sena ambasada buvo mažytė, kur paskui buvo rezidencija. Tai tenais buvo ambasada, ten iš vis maras namas, o čia šitą aš atėjau dirbti, kaip tik nusipirko pirmą namą Akmenų 6. Tik nupirko ir prasidėjo remontas, tai pusė žmonių jau sėdėjo viduje, pusė remontavosi, paskui kelias tokia labai, visiškas toks chaosas, kol iš nusistovėjo. Kai Flor Daniel firma atėjo dirbti, jau normaliai tai nusistovėjo, bet kol čia pirmus metus, 92, tai tokia buvo chaotiški metai, tokia labai, tokia mišinys visokių, Amerikos tvarkos ir rusiškos betvarkės. Tai čia tokia labai įdomiai.
The traditions, I don't know that I would call it traditions, but what I liked about working at the embassy was the camaraderie. We were all building a brand new embassy, the Lithuanians, the Americans. We all worked very long hours. The working conditions were not the greatest, which it's normal to be expected. And but to me, the tradition was the camaraderie. Everyone, we were all in this adventure together, so to speak. And we all worked well, there was really there was a sense, of course, the Americans were the bosses and the Lithuanians were the employees, but at least I myself tried to foment this sort of spirit of equality. And that, I might make the final decision. They all had input, and they knew they had input, and they felt that they had input.
It was a beginning of independent Lithuania, or our country became independent, so everything was new, first time, and so on. So I have many challenges every day, and this motivated me, from early morning till late night. I had many challenges, how to create, how to make, how to reach a result or task, and so on. Because it was like an empty space between one system and the new system.
Ambasada toks visiškas kosmosas. Pirmus 10 metų. Čia iš vis Lietuvoje nebuvo jokių atstovybių iš vis, net prancūzai ar ką tai. Man atrodo kažkas tai tokio nesuprantama žmonėms, kurie su manimi bendravo. Paskui kažkaip prisiprato ambasadai dirba, žinai.
The embassy has changed a lot. We started as a small group which actually looked and felt like a family. It was, the times when everybody knew everybody, we knew the names, the surnames, the families, everybody, and it changed into a large organization.
Prašom, ar galite man pasakyti, kodėl jūs norėtumėte važiuoti į Ameriką? I really liked the embassy community at the time, as I say. And I really liked the women who worked in the consular section with me. They used to refer to themselves, or I referred to them as the trys mergaites, the three girls. They weren't girls, of course, but it was just really fun working with them for those 2 years. And, everybody at the embassy in general, I think. It was a nice, small embassy community.
Professionally, I learned a lot, of course. I was able to learn things from every student, and sometimes even with Ambassador Anders, then we had to, but we practiced translation of the speeches, and I really had the burden of responsibility, but at the same time it was pleasure. So I gained really self-confidence, and in my professional career in Vilnius University, I'm able to discuss with students, and I can bring the experience that I acquired in here to my work in the university. So only thanks.
I miss those wonderful people. I miss wine and champagne that we were drinking. I miss those wonderful, challenging conversations that we had with the U.S. diplomats. What is waiting in the future for us? Actually, they were asking me, where do you want Lithuania to be in the future? We were thinking various variants, actually, how we will develop, how fast we will develop. We were talking about that it's most difficult is to change the mentality of people. It's generational thing. Then young people, they change faster. Older people, there is the tendency they change slower. Not everybody, and those days I really do miss. It was. I am not afraid to say it was a dream job.
Aš kartą ambasadoriaus paklausiau, jis padarydavo taip, kad yra pietus 1 valandą, reikia padengti stalą, ir vakarienė 7 valandą. Viešpatie. Tai negali suspėti, tu stalą nurengi, staigiai ir greitai, kitą reikia daryti ir viską reikia apžiūrėti, visus, kaip sako, viską reikia apžiūrėti, kad niekur kruopelės jokios nebūtų, jokio taškelio ant krano, net vonioji, kad nebūtų, viską reikdavo spėti apžiūrėti, kada kai ateina kiti, kad būtų aukštuboji. Tai aš kartą ambasadorius paklausiu, sakau, ambasadoriau, viešpatie, kodėl tiek daug tų priėmimo? Tai jis man sako, čia yra mūsų darbas toks. Tu žinai, sako, kai ateina pas mane į kabinetą žmogus, jis yra vienoks. O kai ateina į vakarienę ir išgeria taurę vyno, jis yra kitoks.
What the U.S. can learn from Lithuania is resilience. And I say this keeping in mind the 50 years of occupations, that Lithuanians never lost the dream to restore their sovereignty and to reestablish their statehood. And given the odds, all the people who died, the tragedy of the 2 occupations, I think a lot of people would have lost hope. Maybe even the Americans, but the Lithuanians did not, and they frankly accomplished a minor miracle by helping to overthrow the Soviet Union. So a nation of 3 million people basically stood up to an empire, a totalitarian empire, and forced it to collapse.
Tolerancijos. Mums labai daug jos trūksta, mes išvis jos neturim. Išvis neturim, mes tokie netolerantiški, tokie kerštingi, o viešpatie, aš nežinau, nesakau 100%, ne, taip kaip ir visas pasaulis margas. Ir pas amerikonus visko yra, ir pas anglus, ir pas visus kitus. Yra, žinai, kiekvienas individas savo turi kažkokį arkliuką, bet tolerancijos tai labai mums trūksta, labai. Ir reikėtų mokytis, sakau, ypatingai, aš sakau, ko aš labiausiai savo bagažą įkroviau, tai tą toleranciją.
Lithuania became part of me. It wasn't part of me when I was in Chicago, but after having lived there for 3.5 years and working at the embassy, Lithuania became part of me.
We have so many of common areas that we need to cooperate, like one very simple security, climate change, migration policies. So we have a lot of things that we can give to one another and share with one another. And that cooperation that started from 1991, U.S. government with Lithuania, I think it has to continue and has to be even more of it than we had before. There are many stories yet to tell.